Yeah. 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 Baby, hold on. You heard him, hold on. Yeah. Hold on. Hold on. $100 worth of fringes in my shopping cart. Only buy from black businesses, got a chocolate heart. Some of these rappers' only interest is to top the chart. Every rhyme is self-centered, think they forgot the part about humility. Look how easy we mentally slipping into iniquity. This is the only remedy. A broken spirit and a humble heart. We need repentance, that's the other part. How many brothers willing to stick out their neck and leave prestige in the rear view? A lot of brothers with fringes ain't trying to hear you. A lot of sisters with skirts ain't coming near you. Do you think that you ready for all the shame? Thought you did everything right, you sought the kingdom with your whole heart. Fast and pray, but it's so hard. You get a gold star, yeah. And plus the fire, acceptable men are tested when the rest of them get tired. Don't forget that we've been set up as that living vine. Don't let the flesh deflect the spirit. Hold on. Just keep your eye on how Mashiach let them get inside and persevere until the end of time. Hold on. Don't forget that we've been set up as that living vine. Don't let the flesh deflect the spirit. Hold on. Just keep your eye on how Mashiach let them get inside and persevere until the end of time. Hold on. This is a message to the Malachayim. Seek the kingdom and its Zadokayim. Matthew 6:33, the master teacher left a lot behind him. Breadcrumbs that led me back to 21. Link Colossians 3:1. They asked me where I get these secrets from. My meditation 26:3. Isaiah, Matthew 6:6. My prayer, give us favor as we headed home. In the valley of the deadest bones, hold on. Apostate from that non-faith. So Sirach 32:24 is our faith. Psalms 5:9 is y'all fate. Your fear is proof, worship in spirit and truth, like John say. I got my grip tight, clutching on spiritual currency. The gift is not the lyric, it's knowing the currently. Walk in all of his ways, forsake the paths of unjust men. Yeah, now bring the chorus again. Don't forget that we've been set up as that living vine. Don't let the flesh deflect the spirit. Hold on. Just keep your eye on how Mashiach let them get inside and persevere until the end of time. Hold on. Don't forget that we've been set up as that living vine. Don't let the flesh deflect the spirit. Hold on. Just keep your eye on how Mashiach let them get inside and persevere until the end of time. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on.
Why do bad things happen?
That's a good question. You know, sometimes the Most High make us go through things, you know, so that he can test us and find out how reliable we are. Romans 5:3. And not only so, but we glory in tribulations also, knowing that tribulation worketh patience, and patience experience, and experience hope. And hope maketh not ashamed, because the love of God is shed abroad in our hearts by the Holy Ghost, which is given unto us. Amen.
Hey, shalom, everybody. Shalom, shalom. Do y'all hear that? Oh my God. Give me just a second. I gotta shut this nigga up. Judas, say something. Hold up. I'll be right back.
All right, hey, y'all might hear some crying on my side too, doggone. So, hey, Salakia, man, we got a lot going on. Hey, shalom, shalom. Y'all about to see me out. All right, let me get this meet you together. All right, I didn't know it was crooked. One of y'all could have told me. So, right. All right. Hey, man, all praise to the Most High, man. It's another Milk Monday. All right. The title of today's lesson is Our History Makes White America Uncomfortable. All right. If you've been watching the news, you've been watching, if you watched Sons of Thunder, North Carolina's last video, you see that white America gets offended and uncomfortable when real conversations needed to be had. Now, there was a brother who commented on the video and he said, "I don't have no compassion when you just give them their judgment, no compassion." If you watch the video before that, I didn't have no compassion, but that made for a good video, so y'all can see how Esau really feels, man. Esau really feels that history has happened, and hey, that's it. But we should move on, right? Two wrongs don't make a right, man. That's how they feel. So today we're gonna talk about it, right? If you've seen, you just been watching the news, and maybe he'll get into it. I'm not sure, right? But if you've been watching the news, you'll see how in Texas they try to pass a bill where they will not teach Black history anymore. How is it detrimental to our people to not teach Black history? The thing that is detrimental that they're trying not to teach is the fact that white people took Black people on slave ships. Now, what is one of the things that we teach as Israelites? Deuteronomy 28 and 68. Right?
That's a good point.
We teach that all the time. Go ahead.
That's a big point in what we're gonna be talking about today.
God.
So,
hey, let me get the housekeeping out the way.
Yeah, go ahead.
Salaki. Make sure you tune in to all our shows, all right, or our classes rather. They're not shows, it's not for entertainment. This is for edification of the people. All right. So make sure you tune into all our classes. Monday, of course, Truth Tuesday, Thursday Night Live, the Friday night class. You want to call into the class. We had an excellent Q&A class. All right. Okay. The Sabbath starts that evening, okay? Well, we ain't gonna go back in on that. All right. Then you got Sabbath morning brew in the morning. Then you got the various camps that go live. You got the Alabama and Atlanta camp. The Atlanta camp goes live in the early afternoon. The Alabama camp goes live in the evening. Then SOT North Carolina, we're gonna start going back live on Instagram. All right. We've been focusing more on getting videos put up for y'all. All right. So we're gonna start going back on live. If you want to do the work in DC, man, send an email to Sons of Thunder Israelites DC@gmail.com. If you want to do the work in Atlanta or any other place where there's not a camp, send an email to Sons of Thunder Israelites @gmail.com. That also goes for Fort Myers, Florida, with the brother Captain Yaquab, Alabama with the Captain Maiakiah, and also in Ohio with the Captain Darak. All right. Also, man, tune into our Patreon. Man, we got a Patreon. We throw up videos every week for your edification. Tune into our Patreon. Don't forget to subscribe to Sons of Thunder Israelites, North Carolina. All right, the link is in the description. Go ahead and subscribe. They're not sending out no notifications. You can't even find it if you type in Sons of Thunder Israelites, North Carolina. So make sure you subscribe now. The link is in the description. All right, and put the notifications on and put it on all. So hopefully they go ahead and send that out. Also, if you want, I don't know if they're still taking RSVPs. Leo, are y'all taking RSVPs still for Purim, or is that closed?
I want to say yes, but it's possible it could be closed. I gotta check the message.
All right, well, we'll try to fill y'all back in on that. But if you want to congregate with SOT North Carolina's not doing Purim down here.
We should be good today.
We're good. All right,
now we should be good too.
All right, so good. So boom, at the bottom, you'll see if you want to congregate with SOT Atlanta for the Feast of Purim, February 13th at even, send an email to Sons of Thunder Israelites @gmail.com to RSVP. I believe some people from North Carolina might be in Atlanta, but our venue, unfortunately, was booked up for a Super Bowl party. So we're not going to be able to do Purim at the venue. So a couple of us might get together at a brother house or something and just do it that way. But if you would like to congregate with Sons of Thunder North Carolina for our next new moon, which is March 2nd at even, send us an email at Sons of Thunder Israelites NC@gmail.com. Atlanta will also be doing their new moon, so you can send them an email, Sons of Thunder Israelites @gmail.com. All right, so that's all our housekeeping, man. So with that, I'm gonna yield to the Ottawa for the class, man.
All right. Shalom, shalom, everybody. Once again, man, hope everybody's doing good today. Yeah, as Ottawa says, send in your RSVPs. Go ahead and do that. But shalom too. But yeah, today being the first Monday that we have in February, you know what I'm saying? The so-called Black History Month, right? Last year, I kind of wanted to do something like this. We kind of did a little bit, but didn't really get into it. We had the Coon videos and everything, right? Black History Month for that. That was cool. So this year we got something else, specifically because there's things in the media that pertain to this topic right now, right? Ironically, with it being the time of year that we're in right now. So if you know anything about politics, if you've been, like if you've been paying attention, like Judas said, last year or the year before that, probably certain states started trying to pass laws that would prevent them from having to teach our history, right? Or anything that would make white people feel uncomfortable. So it started with them changing the narrative of slavery, making it a thing where, you know, instead of black people being ripped from their homes and their society and their culture over in West Africa, you know what I'm saying, and beyond, and being brought over here as slaves against their will, it's being taught in certain places like Texas, like the brother Judah brought out, that you know, folks are actually, you know, being taught that it never happened, or that you don't have to be, or that you wasn't really a slave, or that you were just, you know, an indentured servant that was working for a lower wage, or whatever it might be, right? Which really make it seem like it's no different than it is today in some situations. You know what I'm saying? So what you got to understand there is that was their way of, you know, breaking the narrative, basically changing the narrative, making it seem less harmful of a thing that we went through during slavery, right? Now 2022, they've turned it up a notch, if you will, right? Now we have this man named Ron DeSantis, who's a governor of Florida, right? One of the most populous states in the whole United States of America, and very diverse, right? Very, very diverse state. It actually includes blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans in large number, right? And a diversity of them from all different types of places, as well as Edomites, right? So-called white folks, right? The so-called Europeans, Americans, whatever you want to call them. It's got Asians, it's got Elamites, all type of different people, right? Africans. What is going on now is, you know, there's an extensive slave history in that state. If you've ever heard of a man named Andrew Jackson, he's on the $20 bill. You know, he had a lot of slaves, did a lot of crazy stuff to him. And in some schools in the United States, they actually teach you about Andrew Jackson, right? Or at least they used to. You know what I'm saying? Now that's going to be prevented because the governor of the state has, I guess, when he was in school learning about good old Andrew, he felt bad about the things that were coming out about him, right? Not that Ron has any black friends, because he doesn't seem like the type of person that does, you know what I'm saying? But he, I guess, felt bad. Or what it might be is his kids, you know, growing up in the time that they're in, where it's less acceptable to be a so-called racist, right? Due to the social conditioning of the American society on purpose. They've actually made it a thing where they're trying to tell us that there's white kids coming home to their parents, like Ron DeSantis, and, you know, saying that they feel bad. They don't really want to deal with having to learn about slavery every single February, right? Every year for that matter, whatever the deal might be. So that's what I want folks to understand there. You feel me? But hey Judy, you good? Okay. You look like you was dozing off or something. I didn't know what's going on. Your eyes or something when you was looking down.
Hey, nah, Salaki, I had to I was trying to like the video on both my YouTube pages.
Okay, you was tripping me out. But all right. So, but yeah, like that's what's going on right now. So that's what the broad spectrum of the class is going to be about. You know what I'm saying? But with that being said, since they are trying to take away the ability of us to be able to teach our people, I did want to bring out some history, right? So today we're going to read extensively from the book of Maccabees, right? First Maccabees to be exact. If we got time, we might even go over some of the mighty men of David and talk about some things like that, right? Because the main thing that they don't want you to do is they don't want you to he said Judah with the Joe Biden impression.
Hey, that's funny. That's real funny.
But what they don't want to happen is they don't want our people to be in a situation where we end up remembering things like we're going to read today in the Maccabees, right? They want us to teach the only history that we have being slavery or Martin Luther King, right? That's not going to stop because Martin Luther King don't make nobody feel bad, right? When they're teaching about that, the white kids don't feel bad about listening to that. If it was Malcolm X, that would make them feel a certain type of way. It might not be feeling bad. They might get upset about it. That's why they don't talk about Malcolm in school. You know what I'm saying? When you get to college, they'll teach you about Joseph Ben Yakanan and all them other niggas, right? The Afrocentrists and stuff. And when you in high school, you might learn about the coons like W.E.B. Du Bois and Frederick Douglass and all them people. So it's like they have a structure, right? It's a structured teaching on how they do things. So today we're gonna kind of talk about that and we're gonna break into it a little bit. But that being said, let's get into this article right quick. One of y'all gonna have to tell me if you can see it because I don't know if you can really see it or not. What happened?
I got a preset real quick before let's get this preset real quick because everybody thinks, when I first heard this preset, I was amazed. Can y'all hear me? Because my computer's frozen.
Yeah, you look good. You're not frozen. We can hear you.
It's
we can see you.
On my end. My bad. Good out of mine. All right, con. So when I heard this precept, it was just a historical precept. Like, dang, they did this back then. But what this class is about to show us is that this is still happening today. So let's just get it. Classic precept. Psalms 83. I'm not going to read the whole thing, right? Psalms 83 from the top.
Frederick Douglass is definitely a cracker. Yes, sir.
Oh,
he looked just like his daddy. If you can Google a picture of Frederick Douglass' daddy, he looked just like him. He just don't got the afro pushed back. He got like actual stringy hair, but they got the same face. It's crazy. He's a chocolate-covered Edomite. Literally.
That's crazy.
Go ahead.
Hey, all right, so Psalms 83 from the top. Keep not thy silence, O God. Hold not thy peace and be not still, O God. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. I just wanted to get that part, right?
That name make them uncomfortable.
Because look, what the other one is about to bring out, and what we talked about earlier, what you said he's going to be a main point he's going to hit on, they're trying to take away the slave ship aspect of our history. But Deuteronomy 28 and 68 is one of the main powerhouse verses that we use to show ourselves in the scriptures. So that's not by any coincidence. This is Psalms 83 still happening to this day, man. What does Ecclesiastes 1:9 say? The thing that has been, it is that which shall be. There's no new thing under the sun. I just wanted to bring that out.
We was gonna get that anyway, of course, because like the brother said, like the scripture said, no, that was gonna be the first thing we bring out. That was good. You right on point with it, right? Read this right quick. It says Ron DeSantis pushes Florida bill to protect white people from guilt about racist past. Right? That's what they're doing right now. They automatically feel guilty, apparently. Right? They didn't feel guilty when they was hanging us and taking pictures with coffee cups in their hand. Right? They didn't feel bad when they was hanging us and just showing it to their kids and letting them beat us like piñatas. That's where piñata comes from. Y'all didn't know that, huh? They used to hang you upside down and beat you till candy fall out. Ain't that some stuff? So, but yeah, man, these are the things that they don't want you to know about, right? They don't want you to remember. They don't want you to teach your kids because then your kids grow up to be Black Hebrew Israelites, right? That's what they don't want. They don't want your kids to grow up to be Israelites, man. And this information, the stuff that you learn in school, the facts about the history, the things that went on, the atrocities that happened to our people, when you learn about these things, it makes you want to go look up more and more about that stuff. And somehow the Most High just leads you here. And like Judas said, right? If you take away slavery, the whole slavery aspect of it, what do they have to cleave onto as opposed to, or what do we have to cleave onto as opposed to what we teach our people and the main part that they have to grasp onto? The reason Deuteronomy hits so hard is because it's something you was taught from the ground up in school every single year, your whole life, right? All of us. Now they stop that from happening. They're thinking it's not going to have the same effect. And it won't. Why? Because the kids that we would be teaching that to that are on the street, the next generation, right? When y'all were all in canal and all like it's all old in their wheelchairs and stuff. And me and Judah got gray hair, right? Kowal gonna be in a wheelchair too. Yeah, I can't leave you out. You know what I'm saying? So like, but if we still here at that point, of course, you know what I'm saying? But like, if that happens, God forbid, and we still here, brothers still got to teach and stuff. They're trying to make it so that that generation that we would be teaching at that time has no type of like grasp on what it is that we're talking about. They don't feel the same thing that we feel when we get talked about slavery and stuff like that, when we hear about it. Main reason why is because like, yo, who is it that you're going to be teaching this to? If they're not being taught this stuff, how are they going to understand what it is that we're teaching them, right? So that being said, keep that in mind. We're going to get into this right quick. Can y'all see it enough, enough to read it? Or do I need to zoom in? No.
Hey, Salaki, right now, the only thing we see is the topic and the video.
Okay, yeah, that's good.
Okay, yeah, we can see it.
Okay. All right. So Governor Ron DeSantis attempts to ban critical race theory in Florida moved forward on Tuesday as an educational panel gave first approval to the bill that would prohibit schools and private businesses from making people feel guilt about the country's racist past, right? So, for example, just to kind of give you a little bit of the impact that this would have on society, right? And make sure y'all like and share the video, please, Baba Kashad, as y'all come in the building. But just to show you guys the impact that this would have on our society, right? Say 10 years down the line, the generation that we have that's coming up, that's watching us and everything like that, they don't learn about slavery. They don't get to learn about the civil rights movement even, because they could say that can make people feel uncomfortable, right? They don't get to learn about the Rodney King beatings. They don't get to learn about George Floyd. They don't get to learn about none of that stuff, right? So, because it's going to make the enemy feel uncomfortable. That being the case, what situation are we in? They're telling us we can't even do it in our businesses, right? So Black History Month, you can't have your barbershop talk. You know what I'm saying? You talking about what you want to talk about. God forbid the white boy walk in there trying to get his hair cut and he hear you. He could go call the cops or something and it'd be a dub for you. They could shut down the whole operation that you got going on in there if it's in the state of Florida just because you made good old Tommy feel uncomfortable, right? Yeah, Tommy from Power. You know what I'm talking about? Right? He went to fade, the Boosie fade with the lineup and stuff. So he go to the black barbershop to get his cut. You walk up in there, he hear you doing the barbershop talk. He got his Jordan 3s on, you know what I'm saying? His Amiri shirt, Amiri jeans, Gucci belt. He trying to look like us, fit in. But as soon as you bring out, hey, bro, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what's going on with that DeSantis joint. You know what I'm saying? As soon as you start talking about Dylan Roof killing them people in the church or something, all he got to do is go tell his folks. They tell the cops, and then that barbershop shut down, right? Put it in perspective with us. We teach on the streets every single week, right? Some camps do it daily. Some camps do it on the Sabbath. Some camps do it between days and on the Sabbath, all that type of stuff, right? We out there on the streets teaching the people. A white man walks by, feels uncomfortable. Y'all remember that video when the brothers from The Watchmen? Wasn't they in Orlando? Yeah, that's Florida.
Kind of the one. He was in Orlando.
Yeah. So to say that happens, white guy walk by, or white guy's up in this dang, apartment complex listening in. Here's us say something about the white man that he don't like. Call the cops. That could be a lot of campers getting arrested. A lot of camp leaders put in that situation now, right? They trying to go ahead and make sure that ushers in damn, I just forgot the damn word. Sheesh. What was you finna say, Judah?
Hey, Salaki King. Hey, that's funny because we noticed out in North Carolina, like when there's we right by like an amphitheater where there's a whole bunch of plays that goes on, and one of the last couple of videos that I put up on North Carolina channel, I was getting on Esau when it was coming out on one of their plays, And now they haven't had plays in the past few weeks. So nobody's been out there but us and whoever's just been walking downtown. Well, yesterday they had a play going on. And guess who was sitting there waiting on us? The police. And you can tell that they was there for us to make sure we wasn't bothering none of those people because they were looking at us with a stank attitude. And it was one Jake, one Esau. And Jake was looking at us with this Uncle Ruckus type look, like, you know what I'm saying? Because you can't make Esau feel bad about what he's done, man.
God. But the famine of the word, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, I had a blank a minute ago. But yeah, the famine of the word, that's what they're trying to usher in, right? They're trying to put this in a situation where that famine comes basically because there's certain things we just can't talk about no more. They're hoping that we won't talk about it. That way it keeps us off the streets because we don't have an audience to talk to. They don't know that it's going to be brothers still going out there because we preach to the wind, right? They don't know that that's a scripture that we do. They don't know that's a thing. We ain't trying to talk to the people. We just go out there and talk, and the people end up stopping. The word makes them stop in their place, right? But this is something that they're thinking is going to start the famine of the word, right? And they're using it in a state that, you know, you could basically be outside all day in Florida. You feel me? So if it stops happening in Florida, they're assuming, well, then it ain't going to be that many people in Georgia coming out. It ain't going to be that many people in South Carolina, you know. And then they might try something in New York, right? Once they get Florida, if it works, they might try something in a bigger state that has a little bit more pool, a little bit more Hebrew Israelites in it, right? And then they just continue to move on state by state until they can't allow us, until we're not allowed to talk about the truth anymore. In whatever aspect it is that you want to speak about it in, right? Whether it's the truth involving the law or it's the truth as far as what we went through in our, you know, time here in this captivity, or our truth in any of the other captivities, because God forbid you talk about Alexander the Greek freak and they hear you call him a Greek freak and it makes them feel uncomfortable because they know that he was a slave master too, right? It's in the Bible. Now you can't even talk. Woo, they might ban the Apocrypha, guys. You know what I'm saying? So that's the situation that we find ourselves in. All because good old Ron doesn't want us talking about the racist past of America, right? It says the state's Republican-controlled Senate Education Committee approved the legislation called individual freedom in a vote along party lines. So the bill is called individual freedom, but you don't have the individual freedom as a black person to talk about the individual atrocities or, you know, the mass atrocities that happen to your people, right? So it's an individual freedom bill that isn't for the individual freedom of your people. How about that for racism? Don't that bring it back to Jim Crow, huh? Something that the white people could do that everybody else can't do? 2022 in Florida, right? And it's getting approved. And you know what? I know they're saying it's Republican Senate and stuff, but if it was a Democrat-run state that did this, I'm sure the same thing would happen. Because them white Democrats don't like talking about slavery either. They just got to act like they do so that they can get your vote.
Hey, it's Salaki Adawan.
Yeah.
I don't know if some of y'all remember this or whatever, but like during that time for the protest and everything that happened a few years ago, they had put on a display where they had the people from the Senate, who, by the way, were all Esau, in African garbs, talking about they wanted to stand with us pretty much as a people to let them know they've got solidarity behind us. I don't know if y'all remember that, but I found that to be pretty funny too.
Yeah, man. That's always how it's going to be, though. You know, they're always going to try to be your friend for a time, you know, that pitchfork tongue type stuff. But war is always going to be in their heart. It's always going to be some type of crafty thing that they got in the back of their mind. Everything that they do, right? At this point, we could look at the civil rights movement being something that they used to rock a lot of our people to sleep. Because during that time, we had a lot of folks that was awake still. We had folks that was worried about teaching our people the truth, worried about standing up for our people, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Now they stopped that from happening. They did the civil rights movement. They gave you the I Have a Dream speech. They taught it to you every single year so that you had the same damn dream. You want to be friends with Becky too, right? You want to be friends with William. You want to be on the football team. You don't want to play for the black team no more. You want to go play in the MLB, right? You ain't rocking with the Negro League no more. You want to play in the NFL. You know what I'm saying? So they rock us to sleep with that. Put us in a situation where now we want to hold hands, right? Most High is telling us, though hand join the hand, you know, the wicked will not be unpunished. They got Jesse Jackson up there telling us, hey, we're not colored, we black. As long as you think that, you ain't got to worry about what happened in the past. Just don't be what they was calling you before. Be different, nigga. And they'll get you different, nigga. Right? What we get now? Now we black people that get beat up by the police on TV. As opposed to getting hung and pictures taken, right? Now we get knees like dropped on our necks and stuff like that. And when the tension get too hot, they start Black Lives Matter. They got critical race theory being pushed into schools now. Because y'all know that was a thing that was invented by white folks, right? Critical race theory was invented by 2 Edomites. But black folks like Umar Johnson and what's the other dude that made the Hidden Colors thing? I forget his name. But that dude and Dr. Umar and all them other brothers, right? The Sinettas of the world in the conscious community and stuff. They put you in a situation where now you want to talk about critical race theory, make it a thing. But this critical race theory was also a thing that they used to swear people to sleep. And now they're using it as a ploy, right? They got you talking about it now, but it was already in the books for it to be something that they made you stop talking about at some point. And now that's just in the works. They're making you stop talking about it, right? Critical race theory was just a theory that was the title for the thing they were going to make you stop talking about. They have to make it seem like they're on different sides. That's why they got Democrats and Republicans. But really, they all want the same thing, to make the name of Israel be no more in remembrance. That's the facts. All right? So I'm going to let that ride. Next thing we're going to get into, talking about the same topic, but from our perspective, right? This is Education Week. Okay? It says, how do you teach Black history without breaking the law? Advice from a teacher, right? So this was made by a sister, right? Yana Niaro, Northern Kingdom sister, and it's about a Southern Kingdom sister. How about that, right? But check this out. So this is a sister in Grove Elementary School, teacher named Camille Williams, right? She actually did a story. She's reading about Harriet Tubman and stuff like that. And one of the kids came out and said something about it to their parents. So she ended up getting in trouble and all that type of stuff. And she's in the state of Florida where this is happening at. So it became a thing, right? So she got interviewed and she was asked questions, you know, and these were basically her answers to the questions she was asked. The main thing was, how are we supposed to teach our kids what has happened to us throughout history in this country alone? Just this country, right? Not all the other times that we had things happen to us, just here. We ain't got to talk about 1619. We could talk about 1710. Right? We could talk about 1765, 1776. We can talk about all that stuff. We ain't got to talk about the 1600s. But how are we supposed to talk about any of that stuff without making white people feel uncomfortable? There's nothing they did that made us feel comfortable about that. So how are we supposed to make them feel comfortable talking about it if it ain't comfortable for us to talk about? Right? She's asked her kids in the classroom these questions, which is why the white kids went back and asked their parents. I feel uncomfortable. And this black lady, Miss Williams, she's trying to make us learn about this stuff. It's the past, mommy. You say that all the time. Why they can't just forget about it? Right? So we're going to read this. Let's see what the sister say from her perspective, right? From a teacher perspective. Says, how do you teach Black history at a time when the very mention of race in the K through 12, kindergarten through 12th grade classrooms is considered by some states to be political, controversial, and divisive, right? And right now it's some states, but soon, like as I said, as it always works in America, if it works with one state, it'll work with the other. So it's going to continue to move on because this is going to pass. It already started, right? and there's more Republican states than just Florida. So they're gonna do their thing with this. Trust me. Transparency and a focus on inquiry are key. And Rodney D. Pierce, an 8th grade social studies teacher at Red Oak Middle School in Nash County Public Schools in Nashville, Tennessee. Pierce is one of the panelists of the Black History Month kickoff Instagram live event for the evening of February 1st, led by the Center of Racial Equality in Education, or CREED. Based in North Carolina, the group's focuses on closing opportunity gaps for all children in P through 20 education, especially children of color. So it says the Instagram panel addresses how to teach Black history today. It's one of CREED hashtag Teaching in Color social media events, which is part of their, I guess that's what they represent. The person who wrote this can't spell, bro. They wrote a lot of stuff that's weird. It says the campaign focusing on inserting students of color well represented in educational settings in North Carolina and beyond. So I guess they're basically just trying to tell you that it was, CREED that basically put this out there. But it says, what does Black history encompass and what does it not, right? So here they're just gonna ask, damn, he got big ass head. But here they're just gonna basically speak about the type of things that they would need in order to be able to teach a classroom. I'm not gonna read this whole thing because I want to read the Bible. But in summary, what this article is gonna ask and speak about is literally how our people have gone through a bunch of stuff. They're gonna talk about Harriet Tubman and even Nat Turner and things that slaves went through and stuff like that. They'll talk about the civil rights movement and everything. But what happens is our people get put in a situation where it's like, okay, now they know about all this stuff, and in Florida specifically, they can't teach it. She's gonna talk about how our people are trying their best to teach in the churches, even right, for Black History Month. And if you got people in the church that, like, it's not all Black, it's a diverse church or whatever, the white people in the church are now making it feel uncomfortable to be able to speak. You know what I'm saying? So these are things that we have to address now that are not going to be able to address at a certain point in some of these states because it's going to be illegal to talk about it, right? How drastic the repercussions are going to be, we don't know yet, but the fact of the matter is they're literally trying to silence us from speaking about our history, right? So they could speak about Alexander the Greek freak, right? Hell, these are just some things that they teach us about in school, right? They teach us Alexander. They teach you about Julius Caesar, right? And all the atrocities he did. They teach you about Zeus and Athena and Poseidon, right? Some fake gods, right? They'll teach you about the Vikings and the Danish. They did things. They raped people. They robbed. They pillaged, right? They'll teach you about it, though. They teach you about Robert E. Lee and Ulysses S. Grant, two slave killing, Black folk shooting, nigga hanging crackers that ran the civil rights, the Civil War in America. But they teach you about this every year. So we're not supposed to have a problem learning about this stuff, right? At all. Our kids ain't supposed to feel uncomfortable learning about this stuff. I know I felt uncomfortable in 7th grade learning about Ulysses S. Grant and Robert E. Lee. And a Black teacher teaching it to me. Like Robert E. Lee or Ulysses S. Grant, whichever one she was, on the side with, was such a great person, even though they had slaves. Like, come on now. That don't make no sense. But they teach you about Mussolini. They teach you about Hitler, right? Not one Black person that fought in the war. Except the damn Tuskegee Airmen. That's it. Only warriors we get to talk about is some damn niggas that flew some planes in Alabama. They don't teach you about Judas Maccabees. They don't teach you about John Hyrcanus. They don't even teach you about King David. It's gangs that teach you about King David, but they won't teach you about him in the school.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, Drew. What was you going to say?
I was just going to say, Wesley Curry, we got a video on this channel about the Quran being toilet paper. You can go watch that, and then you can talk about Allah all you want. We ain't talking about Allah right now. We're talking about Esau.
That's right.
Okay. Dude's talking about some no time to talk about Allah, la. We don't rip Allah on that last video. Go watch it. It's from last Thursday. This past Thursday. Subscribe to the
what's
channel.
security? We are talking about Allah. The real Allah is
The real
Yahweh.
Allah. Exactly.
How about that?
We're not talking about Allah Akbar. Boom. We're not talking about him.
No, we're talking about Allah Shad Yah. Boom. How about that?
Yeah. Boom.
Boo, rather, right? But so those people, all the people that they teach us about in school, right? No matter what state you live in, what grade you're in, you're gonna learn about them. Even in 6th grade world history, they teach you about Asian people. You learn about Nobunaga, Oda, Ieyasu Tokugawa, Attila, and the Huns, and all them other people, depending on what school you go to. Because I learned about it. I had video games with people in it, and then I went to school, and it was y'all teach me about these Asian people. Y'all can't even teach me about damn Mansa Musa, but y'all gonna teach me about Nobunaga Oda. For real, bruh. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah. And you know they're not gonna teach about something like Mansa Musa because that might make them feel uncomfortable. A black man who was richer than Bill Gates? What? Oh no, Mom. I can't learn about that. It's a wrap. It's going to go drastically further than this. It's not going to be something that stops at civil rights and slavery and politics like that. It's going to go further. Anything that make them feel uncomfortable, you're not going to be able to talk about. It's going to be against the law. We're back to Jim Crow. It's coming. Wait on it. Just watch. Just watch. So, I mean, like we said, it started with, let's just start from the civil rights movement, right? They give us the civil rights movement. Peace, right? Give me Jeremiah 6 and 14. They give you peace for years too, right? Every couple years they do something crazy on TV. They kill a black kid or they beat up Rodney King or, something happens. They rape a little girl. They got OJ, right? They do these little race things to try to make you band together with each other, right? Every couple of years, they make something happen to try to make the few of you that think like we should all be together, or not the few now, it's not few anymore, but the mass of you rather, right? That think we should all be together, we should all be one. It's a melting pot, right? God loves everybody. That's why they teach you that in the church. It's all part of the political thing. It's politics. Your church is politics. They're working for them too. You got something to say, Kowal?
You said it was Jeremiah 6 and
14.
Got it.
Yeah, hold that for a second.
Hey, Kowal, you got a feedback. So when
you got an echo. Is your phone on?
God, I don't have any earpiece.
Yeah, you might have to go out and come back in, King, because when he talk and you off mute, is a bad echo. Come on.
Did he say he was his earpiece? What did he say? I don't know.
I think so. Yeah, he got switched out.
Well, go ahead and get Jeremiah 6 and 14 for me right quick. But yeah, so like that's what they teach you, right? They try to tell you, they put you in a situation where they got you thinking, okay, look, we're gonna give them peace for all these years. From the 1960s up to, let's say, 2000. Peace, right? Come 2000, they start making movies and everything like that. They give you Eminem. They give you, they start putting Kid Rock in black movies like Biker Boys and stuff like that, right? So then they give you Eminem. Then they give you Asher Roth. Then they give you, you know what I'm saying? Now you got G-Eazy's and all these other type of people, right? Trying to get you to ban the wave and not feel bad. They gave you the what's the boy that died? The white kid that died.
Mac Miller.
Yeah, that crazy white boy, right? They give you all of them and everything, right? So it's like they put you in a situation where they're trying to make you feel us. They're trying to make us feel like, okay, look, it's white folks like y'all out here. You know what I'm saying? There's some of us like you. And then, of course, you got the black folk that want to be like the white folks. So then it's, you got the white folks out there. Oh, it's some of them like us. They're not all bad, honey. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So now that they got you thinking alike to an extent, they got you teaching in the church. God love everybody. Racism is dead and all that type of stuff. Every now and then they might kill a black person on TV, had a cop shoot him and stuff like that, right? George Floyd, Philando Castile, Mike Brown, so on and so forth. But all of that is like, it's almost like it's a game to see if what they're doing is working. Are these people going to get completely mad and are they going to separate? Are the white folks going to band together with the black folks, and are the black folks going to band together with the white folks, and are they going to be hand in hand again? And we keep joining hands with them. So now it's like, okay, we got it. Now that we know they're not going to turn on us, the most they're going to do is, go march and tear up some stuff in their neighborhoods. Let's finally pass the bill that's going to make it illegal for them to talk about it. And when they stop talking about it, they're just going to, stop talking about it. Because now, who wants to talk about racism, right? Every time them Hebrew Israelites are on the clubhouse and they ask somebody that's not a Hebrew Israelite about the stuff, the person always asks about the white man. We got these people. They don't even care about their own people anymore. When they know about the truth. So there it is. They don't need us no more, right? They don't need us to be in this mind state that we in. They already got us. We've been destroyed. The yoke of iron's off our neck. So now, let's just take away their freedom of speech in regards to this topic. So our kids don't feel uncomfortable. I'm tired of my son coming home. You know what I'm saying? He's got his slave in the back playing video games with him. And he's mad every February that, we can't have certain conversations at the house anymore because it might make Lil Bobby, Lil Deshaun feel bad. We don't want to make Deshaun feel bad. So, let's just make it so we don't have to talk about it anymore. And that's what they're doing. It's not really to make Deshaun feel bad. It's to make Bobby not feel bad. Feel me? So, Jeremiah 6:14.
Khan, this is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 6, verse 14. They have healed also the hurt of the daughter of my people slightly, saying, peace, peace, when there is no peace.
You see that? They've tried to heal the hurt of the daughter of our people, right? They've told us peace, peace, but there is no peace. You understand that? There's never going to be no peace. They have a perpetual hatred against you. First scripture we brought out was Psalm 83, right? So, that being said, enough about them in the critical race theory crap, right? Since they're trying to stop us from teaching history, let's get into some of the history that they don't want us to teach, right? They're not going to have no problem with you learning about a Joseph ben Yachanan. They're not going to have no problem teaching you about, Malachi Z. York. They won't care about teaching you about Noble Drew Ali, right? They're not going to care. They'll teach you about Farrakhan. Yeah. You know what they won't teach you about? Mashag Haushai, King David, Solomon, Nehemiah, Ezra. They won't teach you about Jonah. You know what I'm saying? They ain't gonna teach you about the Maccabees. That's what we're gonna talk about right now, because they're scared of the Maccabees. You know, the Maccabees is a world-renowned story. Everybody in history knows them. All historians, everybody. Why you never heard of the Maccabees before you came into the truth? Even if you was a Catholic. It's in your damn Catholic Bible, but you never heard of the Maccabees.
Hey, I don't want. What's funny to the point that you're making? Basically, what the other one is saying is they only teach you about the docile so-called African Americans in school. Right. They teach you about Martin Luther King. They teach you about George Washington Carver. Thank God for peanuts, peanut butter.
W.B. Du Bois. What we read, he said last week.
I'll forgive the white man for everything. Slavery,
Slavery, slavery, slavery, beating my people, slavery and slavery. But I will not forgive him for what he did to my sister. Nigga, get out of here, bro.
Yeah. Hey, what do we go? You probably don't even remember this class. I don't want that class I did. Your wicked pastor sent by the devil. Remember that?
Nah, I remember that.
That's a long time ago, right? But one of the videos we watched, it was a black pastor.
You talking about that girl?
Yes.
Yeah.
What did she say?
I forget her name, but I know you're talking about.
What did she say? I don't want
with the long hair that looked like a linebacker. I think that's what he was calling her the whole time in the video.
Yo, she said we should thank God for slavery because if it weren't for slavery, we would be somewhere in Africa with a bone through our nose, swinging
on vines, right? Yeah, swinging on trees, something like that. Yeah. I remember that.
So they only teach us about the docile, like he said, the WB, the boy. Why don't they teach us about Khalid Muhammad in school? Why they don't teach us about?
Wait, you know why they won't teach you about Khalid Muhammad?
Why is that?
He started learning from the Israelites.
Exactly. Why did they teach you about Malcolm X? Why didn't they start teaching you about Malcolm X?
They started teaching you about Malcolm X because he was learning about the Israelites. He wasn't calling us Israelites, but he was damn sure teaching like one.
Exactly.
He wasn't teaching from the Quran. He was teaching from the Bible. It wasn't after they killed him that they really started teaching heavily from that Quran.
And Louis Farrakhan don't teach from the Quran to this day. But
because he learned from Malcolm X.
Right. So let's think about this, man. They're not gonna teach you about the Maccabees and the revolutionary men and women. The only thing they're gonna tell you about Harriet Tubman is that she followed a star and led slaves out. They ain't gonna tell you that Harry was like, yo, who's with me? If you're not with me, step forward.
They ain't gonna tell you Harry was
right. They're not gonna tell you that too, but she will kill you.
A whole video with her family out there.
Yo, she will kill you if you was a coon. Harry will kill you and the slave master. They ain't gonna teach you that, man. But go ahead, I don't want.
Hold up. They will not tell you that. Harriet Tubman was Israelite. Let's see if I can find it. There it is.
So we are prophetic whirlwind is live.
Hold up.
Are we supposed to be seeing your screen right now?
I'm sure to you. I'm funny sure to you. Because Captain Cesaria brought this out on the clubhouse. Couldn't remember what her name was. It's Araminta Tubman. Right? I want to show you out a video. You see the brother with the big old Yahweh hat on. These are Harriet's last living grandchildren, great-grandchildren, whatever it is, right? And listen what they're saying.
From the 2017 Homeworld Festival in Philadelphia. And
this 2017. This is right before I met, the month before I met Joel.
I'm here with my two new Hebrew parents, and we're just going to have them share how they came to Torah, some special information about their ancestors and what it means to them to be at the Homeworld Festival today. And the Homeworld Festival is a festival to commemorate the exodus and migration of the God people who are descendants of biblical Hebrews. So, Mom, if you could just share with us how you came to Torah.
Hi, everyone. I'm Robin Fisher, and I came to Torah through my husband, who was feeling a tug from Yah to leave the tradition. We had to do something with that. It had to be more than just a head knowledge that we had.
So, the beginning of the year, a prophetic word was given to me by a pastor and his wife, and they looked at me and said, "You're unorthodox," and that sort of like was the spark plug that got. Why do you not keep Sabbath? I guess that was y'all's about it, and something came to us earlier about who we were, and that we were direct descendants. My family's direct descendants from Harriet Tubman, and she's from the same area that this tribe is visiting Philadelphia, and so we had to.
They're there with the Ashanti tribe, if you guys didn't know that. So Harriet was a direct descendant of the Ashanti tribe. So you've heard people speak about the Ashanti tribe and slavery and all that type of stuff. They're telling you right now that a lot of the Ashanti people were Israelites, Harriet being one of them, and she actually knew about her heritage, and it's something that he was actually able to trace, being a descendant of her. So that means somebody kept records of this stuff.
To come and worship with you guys today, and we're super excited. It's just a thrill.
So I'm gonna stop the video there because I don't want to get copyright strike or nothing. But yeah, that's just a little, a little something for you there, just to prove to you that it was people that we had back then that actually knew about what it was, right? But to get back to their history, give me 2 Maccabees chapter 2, verse 1. Let's just get into it. Because and it will be some reading that y'all gonna be doing. Kowal, what you sound like? We good?
We good.
All right, Gucci. Yeah, so there is gonna be some reading, so y'all both, make sure we Gucci. I'll make sure I read too. You know what I'm saying? Make sure everything's good. But yeah, man. First thing we're gonna start with is I think I want 2 Maccabees. Do I want 2 Maccabees chapter 2, verse 1? Do I want 1 Maccabees? Let me make sure.
It's 1 Maccabees 2 and 1.
I want 1 Maccabees 2 and 1.
I got it. It's 1 Maccabees chapter 2 and verse 1. In those days arose Matthias, the son of John, the son of Simeon, a priest of the sons of Jorid, in Jerusalem, and dwelt in Medin. And he had 5 sons: Johanan, called Cadiz, Simon, called Dasi, Judas, called Maccabeus, Eleazar, called Avaran, and Jonathan, whose surname was Aphus. And when he saw the blasphemies that were committed in Judah and Jerusalem, he said, "Woe is me! Wherefore was I born to see this misery of my people and of the holy city?" And
you see that?
There.
You see that? This is a leader of our people, straight up, off rip. He sees atrocities happening with his people. He doesn't go, "Oh, let us go make, treaties with the heathen. Let us go make plans with the heathen. Let us go make, deals with the heathen so that we could be like them, so that we may prosper in this society," right? He ain't doing none of that stuff. I have a dream that white people and black people, nah. He's, look at the atrocities that's going on our people. Woe is me. Why I ain't had to live to see this mess? Right? Keep going.
We're starting at verse 7. And he said, "Woe is me! Wherefore was I born to see this misery of my people and of the holy city, and to dwell there, when it was delivered into the hand of the enemy, and the sanctuary into the hand of strangers? Her temple has become as a man without glory. Her glorious vessels are carried away into captivity. Her infants are slain in the streets. Her young men with the sword of the enemy."
Keep going.
"What nation have not had a part in her kingdom and gotten of her spoils? All her ornaments are taken away. Of a free woman she has become a bond slave. And behold, our sanctuary, even our beauty and our glory, is laid waste, and the Gentiles have profaned it."
You see that? So he's straight up letting you know, man. He ain't in no mood to make any deals with anybody because we got overtaken. But that seems to be what our people in society teach you now. Every single leader that we've ever had that they teach you about is somebody that made a deal. They made a deal to do something. Frederick Douglass made a deal with Abraham Lincoln. W.B. Du Bois made a deal with the NAACP. Martin Luther King made a deal with the Rothschilds and the what's that other banking family? The people that give out the Nobel Peace Prize, them folks. Them Edomites, right? We could go on and on. So throughout history, throughout time in America and before America, as we're reading, no new thing under the sun, our people have been doing that. They've been making deals. Nobody's been wanting to put their foot down and actually stand up for the people wholeheartedly. But you see that our real leaders, the people that the Bible teaches about, where our history comes from, that's the only spirit that they ever had. To stand up strong and actually fight for the people, to not take none of the crap that was going on. When they see it, feel bad enough to just die because it's happening. Like, yo, this really going on with the people right now? Not to try to fit into the society and live amongst it. All right? Keep going.
Verse 13. To what end, therefore, shall we live any longer? Then Matthias and his sons rent their clothes and put on sackcloth and mourn very sore.
Mm-hmm.
In the meanwhile, the king's officers, such as compelled the people to revolt, came into the city Madin, to make them sacrifices. And when many of Israel came unto them, Matthias also and his sons came together.
Now I want you to see, right? When your WB Du Bois is saying, after he went through the atrocities he went through, his parents went through the stuff they went through, his grandparents went through the stuff they went through as slaves, he's gonna, you know, be a coon and coon out for the folks and forgive them for everything that happened to them, right? Forgive the white man or the white folks for everything that happened to his people, rather. But watch what Matthias is gonna do. He's gonna get the chance to coon out, just like them other folks do, right? He gonna get this opportunity right now to join the Black Caucus, right? He about to get his chance right now to join the Boule. Because if you remember that class, it started during this time period, right? They started picking their gatekeepers back then, right? So he's gonna get his chance to become that. But watch what happens. He's not gonna take the money in the bag, in the trophy, in the medal to put around your neck. He ain't gonna do that. You could tell him to shove it up where the sun don't shine, give me what's mine, get out the land, right? But go ahead, read that.
Verse 17. Then answered the king's officers, said unto Matthias on this wise, Thou art a ruler and an honorable and great man in this city, and strengthened with his son, and strengthened with sons and brethren.
See, so they trying to butter him up. Hey, bro, you know, you a big time dude. You got pull in the city. You got a name out here. They're going to listen to you if you coon, right? That's what they did with MLK. You got all these black folk behind you. You even got Hispanics with you, man. You got faggots with you. You got Bayard Rust in here. You got pull. You know what you could do, boy? You know what type of power we could give you, boy? Go ahead.
Now, therefore, come thou first and fulfill the king's commandment, like as all the heathen have done. Yea, and the men of Judah also, and such as remain at Jerusalem. So shalt thou and thy house be in the number of the king's friends. And thou and thy children shall be honored with silver and gold, and many rewards.
Yeah, man. That gift. We're going to give you this gift that's going to destroy your heart. Take it, nigga. Just take it. He says no. He's going to say no, bro. Why people don't say no today? Why do rappers take the bag, they get the chain with the regular diamonds, not the VS or the VVS?
The VS2s.
Yeah. And they, you know, they got their artificial stuff on, and they rap about shooting and killing all day long, right? They post their advance money all day long. The same bag that they got 2 years ago, they still got that money in their hand because they can't spend it. They ain't gonna have nothing left. But they take that bag and they do whatever their master wants them to do with it. Our real leaders never did that, right? Go ahead.
Verse 19. Then Matthias answered and spake with a loud voice. Though all the nations that are under the king's dominion obey him, and fall away every one from his religion of their fathers, and give consent to his commandments, yet will I and my sons and my brethren walk in the covenant of our fathers. God forbid that we should forsake the law and the ordinances. Salakia.
Hold on, read the last part. Read the last verse. Verse 22.
22. We will not hearken to the king's words to go from our religion either on the right hand or the left.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead, King.
You ain't nothing to say?
Nah.
Oh.
Nah.
Well, look.
You
good. This right here, straight up, he letting you know, right? We ain't finna go do whatever you want us to do for nothing. We not finna stop what the Most High want us to do for no man, for nothing.
good.
No reward, no amount of money, no silver, no gold, no women, none of that. You can't give it to us. It's not gonna work because we living for the law. That's what he told the white man. Shove it, right? Go ahead.
Come. Verse 23. Now when he had left speaking these words, there came one of the Jews in the sight of all to sacrifice on the altar which was at my den.
Here come Jesse.
According to the king's commandment, which thing when Matthias saw, he was inflamed with zeal, and his reins trembled. Neither could he forbear to show his anger according to judgment. Before he ran and slew him upon the altar. Also the king's commissioner who compelled men to sacrifice, he killed at that time.
You see
and
that?
The altar he pulled down.
So he just said, you know what? Screw it. Jesse, come here. He killed Jesse, right? And then he saw WB. He said, come here, dog. And he killed Dub. Because they was cooning, right? That's the only time in our society that you had the reason to lay hands on brother. And Nehemiah told you that. Nehemiah straight up told the coons, I'll lay hands on you. Stop playing. Teach your kids the law. Stop playing. Right? And Matthias, in the spirit of Nehemiah, just didn't warn him. He warned them in front of the people when he, said no to the general. And when Jesse walked outside and, come on, brother, just watch. I'm going to do it. He took his pig and sacrificed it on the altar and got stabbed with the same fork. You know what I'm saying? So these are the things that our people used to do. This is valiant, whether you like it, understand it, believe it or not. Very valiant that he did that. That's a big time move. Kill the man in front of the people after you just said no to one of the captains of the king. He's trying to tell you he's gonna give you all this stuff because of your sway and your pull. If the people see you go off, they're gonna go off too. We're sheep, right? We follow a shepherd. Whoever they think the shepherd is, they're gonna say, hey, they're gonna try to get the shepherd and try to make the sheep follow him and do whatever they want him to do. Usually it works, right? Until they mess with the wrong shepherd. Feel me? Every now and then the Most High give him the wrong shepherd. And that's when they mess up. Moses was the wrong shepherd. Saying Joshua was the wrong shepherd. David was the wrong shepherd. Yahushua, wrong shepherd. You know what I'm saying? Nehemiah, Ezra, they was wrong shepherds. Elijah, wrong shepherd. Elisha, wrong shepherd. You know what I'm saying? Don't play with these brothers. But then you get to the Maccabees, wrong shepherd. That's not the group you want to mess with. And it's going to be explained in this story, right? These are the stories they don't want our people to learn about in school. Because it gives you power, make you feel good about yourself. If I learned this when I was in school, I would have went to school just probably slapping all the pale-faced kids. I would have been a bully. Because, bro, look, why are you looking at me like that? I'm related to David. I'm related to Judas Maccabeus. What are you talking? Why are you looking at me like that? You know what I'm saying? So it would have gave brothers a certain type of power. It would have gave sisters a certain type of power. Things that happened to you in school wouldn't happen to you. You would have thought better of yourself, right? People you was hanging out with, you wouldn't have hung out with them because you would have looked at yourself better. You would look at yourself like a king or a queen, big time warrior, right? The descendants of greatness. They don't want you to have that type of thought process for yourself, though. So they want to teach you about the most docile, lowly, coonish people on the planet that come from your nation. That's what they want you to know about. That's what they want you to feel. Any type of history they teach you about, it's got to be history from a situation where like you're coming from the dust. But when you come up from the dust, you're still in the damn dirt. Right? It's a situation where they'll teach you about, Black Wall Street only to end it with the civil rights movement. You know what I'm saying? It's no complete come up. But if you read this story, the Maccabees win in the end. You know what I'm saying? Judas do his thing. He get down. Just 2 chapters after this. So it's like, these are the things that Ron DeSantis doesn't want the people in Florida to know. Because you get in front of us, we start teaching you this stuff. It's like we say on the streets all the time. I've heard Cano say, I don't want my kids learning the stuff that they learn in school. Every time I teach them what I can teach them from the Bible so that they know the truth, so that they know the history. I've heard other people say it about their kids, right? So imagine when them kids, I've seen kids that got crazy intellects and just going crazy with the Bible and the scriptures and the law, being able to teach it, the history, all that type of stuff, right? We've brought up Brother Amos' kid from the Watchmen before, showed him and everything, right? Imagine that kid going to school around Edomites. How powerful he probably feel, knowing the truth about the people in the scripts. That's something we didn't get to feel when we was younger. Imagine if it was a whole nation of our kids that grow up like him with that mindset. Sister's like his sister. Her mindset. Right? That's what they don't want. They're afraid of that. Because if too many of us grow up thinking like that, we in that situation, then what the hell we gonna do to them when we get of age? We ain't gonna be trying to work for them. We ain't gonna be docile in society. And we're gonna be about the law. We ain't gonna be breaking it. They gonna be keeping the Sabbath day. Saturday, America's not gonna make no money. Right? They don't want that to happen. So keep reading.
Verse 26.
Thus
dealt he zealously for the law of God, like Phineas did unto Zambri, the son of Salam.
Mm-hmm.
And Matthias cried throughout the city with a loud voice, saying, whosoever is zealous of the law and maintaineth the covenant, let him follow me.
See that? Whoever gonna keep the law, come this way, bro. Let's go. Whoever not gonna follow these people and keep the law of the Most High, follow me. They ain't gonna let no mainstream artists, nobody that could reach a whole bunch of people, millions of people and stuff like that. They ain't gonna let them stand on TV and say that. The minute you get in front of a bunch of people and you're able to do that, then they're gonna kill you like they did, Martin. Martin made a speech like that. His last speech. It was a dub 48 hours later. So it's like, these are the things that, like I keep saying, this is what they don't want you to know about. This is what they don't want you to be teaching your kids. Because teaching them this is what's going to give them power. MLK, it ain't going to do nothing. It didn't do nothing for me when I was a kid. It ain't going to do nothing for your kids. There's nothing really powerful about that. They're trying to give you power in forgiving them, which is what that movement is supposed to teach you, forgiveness. March with us, hand in hand. I have a dream that y'all will march with us hand in hand. That's the dream. I have a dream that when we do something to y'all won't get mad at us no more. That was the dream. And it worked. Because we don't get mad no more. A brother kill your cousin, you going to go try to kill that brother. Mike Zimmerman killed your cousin. He made $1 million selling the damn gun, and he's still alive right now.
Signing Skittle packets.
Signing Skittles. And he got book money.
Salakia.
Go ahead.
Amber Geiger.
Yeah.
She kills somebody. She goes to court. Next thing you know, you got the bailiff and the judge giving her comfort, giving her a Bible. The bailiff over there stroking her hair, telling her it's going to be all right. What was that?
Couldn't have been me. I would have slapped both of them.
It's forgiveness, Ak. That's what they want you to, that's the narrative. Forgive. Right?
Hey, you know why they want you to forgive, though? My mother told me this, right? They want us to make, and I think I said this before, they want to make us the poster children of what forgiveness is. Because if these people can forgive us, then these are the example of good Christians.
If these people can forgive these good old niggers.
But here go the thing, though. I don't want to wait. If we the poster children for forgiveness, and we're the example, and we succeeded at what y'all have taught us, which is forgiveness, why couldn't y'all forgive Saddam Hussein and Osama bin Laden?
Whoa. Wait a second, brother. No. This Esau we talking about. They want you to forgive them. They ain't asking them to forgive you.
Exactly. That's
Come
for
on
you
now.
niggas. That's for y'all niggas.
This is a one-sided trend.
This
right?
is, hey man, this is murder.
If we talking about forgiveness, I'm Esau now. Never mind. I ain't never gonna be Esau. Damn. Okay, let's pretend this Esau over here, right? Esau would say, yo, like, if it's forgiveness that we talking about, everybody's a nigga. The Ishmaelites, the Moabites, the Ammonites, even some of you white people. You know what I'm saying? Because we ain't forgiving nobody. Right? You're going to remember the Alamo.
Yep.
You're going to remember Pearl Harbor. You're going to remember 9/11. You're going to remember Civil War 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, World War 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, Vietnam, the Cold War. You're going to remember everything. Anytime somebody died, you're going to remember it.
The hot war. You're going to remember. Hey, look, I got something cold. You know why they don't forgive? Because the Bible says love thine enemy, right? And the Bible is, you remember y'all got them Hebrew Israelites on the corner? You got them Hebrew Israelites on the corner telling you that your enemy, you're supposed to love them. Remember that? But y'all said that this Bible is only y'all's book. The only thing is, I'm just going to just teach it back to you and tell you that your enemy is all of us. We don't have to follow it because it's not our book. We don't have to love our enemy. Leviticus 19:17 doesn't apply to me, man.
That's gonna make y'all swear on it, but we ain't got to do nothing that's in that book. That's what they're saying.
And that's really blasphemy because they put their hands right on the Bible and lie through their teeth.
Right.
Hey, but finish that out though. Keep reading on Maccabees.
Oh, so
got some reading. We got.
I closed the book to act like Esau and close the Bible. See how that happens?
This man. See
that? Verse 28. So he and his sons fled into the mountains and left all that they ever had in the city. Then many that sought after justice and judgment went down into the wilderness to dwell there, both they and their children and their wives and their cattle, because affliction increased sore upon them.
So look, we had one group, which was the Maccabees, right? They go into the mountains. Then we had another group that flees another way that goes into the wilderness, right? Because they trying to follow what Matthias said. Only they didn't go follow Matthias. They went and did their own thing. So we in a situation now where now we got two groups. They both trying to fight. They trying to do their own thing, of course, right? But we know, just like there's no new thing under the sun. If we had a group now, right? Say the Israelites, right? We the Maccabees. We gonna go to practicing Israelites. We go out into the mountains. Then you got the Democrats, right? They going against the Republicans. The Republicans, the racist ones and stuff. I don't know what their groups is called nowadays and stuff like that. But the KKK type folks, right? They out there, they coming after us and stuff now. So you got one group, the Democrats, right? Antifa and them. They go and they try to run into the wilderness, right? Black and whites together. Go ahead, keep going.
Verse 31. Now, when it was told the king's servants and the host that was at Jerusalem in the city of David that certain men who had broken the king's commandments were gone down into the secret places in the wilderness, they pursued after them a great number. And having overtaken them, they camped against them and made war against them on the Sabbath day.
You see that? So they camped against them and made war with them on the Sabbath day. These people that aren't Judas Maccabees and them, the folks in the wilderness, right? They're making war with the Democrats right now. All right. The folks that don't want you to have no guns, they're not going to fight. They're telling you, put the guns down, hands up, don't shoot nobody. You know what I'm saying? If the white man shoot you, we'll march for your ass, nigga. That's it. Right? Yeah. That's what these folks are marching. You know what I'm saying? Right? So ain't no damn, what's that group with Jam Master Jay? The
Run DMC.
No, I'm talking about the fight.
Nah, the horse with the rifle.
I'm talking about the dude with the rifle, the bald brother, the Jam Master Jay. The brother. He talking about Run DMC.
You said Jam Master Jay out of one. That's all I was going
name to. His name Jam Master Jay. There you go. NFAC. Thank you, Dre.
This brother.
Ain't no NFAC here, right? Now y'all know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the black dude with the bald head and the glasses that's locked up right now for being the brother that, you know, thought they was going to do this. And he wouldn't pull the trigger. So they said, all right, we're going to pull you, nigga. So they locked him up. He gone, right? But so this ain't in fact, right? This is not the NFAC. This is the Democratic caucus that they fighting right here. And watch what they going to say, right? Go ahead. No new thing under the sun.
Mm-hmm. Verse 33. Yep. And they said unto them, let that which ye have done hereunto suffice. Come forth and do according to the commandment of the king, and ye shall live.
So look, the king's commanders are like, hey, all right, y'all come do what we told y'all to do, bro. Come do what Joe Biden is telling you to do, and you're going to be straight. Here's what they said.
Come. Oh, man. Where am I at? Where am I at?
30 to 34.
Oh, I got lost for real. 34. But they said, we will not come forth, neither will we do the king's commandment to profane the Sabbath day. So then they gave them the battle with all speed. Howbeit they answered them not, neither cast they a stone at them, nor stopped the place where they lay hidden.
So they said, all right, guys, look, they trying to fight us. Just put the guns down. We don't want no guns here. We the Democrats. No fighting. Put your hands behind your back. Right? And at some point, you got to understand that they're going to do the same thing that you hear. They tried to get all our people to be like this. So if they ever fight back, this is the mindset they're going to have. Fight back, but don't use violence. Fight back like Martin Luther King. Fight back like Gandhi. Right? That was Martin Luther King's mentor, if y'all didn't know. That's why he was nonviolent.
Gandhi didn't like us, didn't he?
Nah, he hated niggas. He hated Martin Luther King.
Crafty counsel.
Boy, but yeah. So that happens, right? Go ahead.
37. But said, I'm gonna read verse 36 again. Howbeit they answered them not, neither cast they a stone at them, nor stopped the places where they lay hid, but said, let us die in our innocency, innocency.
There you go.
Right. Heaven and earth shall testify for us that ye put us to death wrongfully. Salakia.
Let us die in our innocence.
Now. This is niggas now.
I know.
Oh, we're gonna turn the other cheek, and if they're gonna kill us, we will not be violent. If we die peacefully.
This is literally the church that Dylan Roof walked up in. Grandma and grandpa was like, let me pray for you, baby. Just let me pray. He was, pray for that. Then Granny said, oh, Lord, have mercy. He gonna kill us. Well, we not gonna fight you. Just go ahead and do it. The Lord is gonna see you. He see everything you All right.
And when you die, you're gonna be right up there with white Jesus.
Shut up.
Who's gonna save you from them same white devils that killed you? Salaki. Man, look.
He ain't even let you finish. He not.
Hey,
I ain't trying to be funny, but this is what it is, bro. You gotta laugh to keep from crying because this is the mindset that they put your people in. This is why we so docile. And when you read it in the Bible and you see the Most High put it here for you to see that this is literally how your people act. This is how you're not supposed to act, right? Because you're gonna see the warriors of the Most High. They're gonna be put in the same situation, and you're gonna see how they act towards the enemy.
That's right.
It's not gonna be happy. It's not gonna be hand joined to hand, right? It's not gonna be peace when there is no peace because you at war, nigga, right? Watch what happens.
Hey, Salaki King.
Go ahead.
There's a reggae song by some Benjamin brother named Sizzler, and the name of the song is "No White God." And he says in the chorus, "I have no white God. Don't tell me anything wrong. Would the white God save me from white man oppression?" Right? He said white man oppression. You know, he got the accent, right? But still, right? This is what right
no,
here.
The answer is no. He won't.
Exactly. This is the church today, and this what we're reading right now is exactly what he's talking about. They think that the white God is going to save you from white man's oppression by you dying and going up there to be with him and the white angels and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Why would a white man say
these people ain't think about white God? They know it's our God, right?
They know it's our
got
God.
white mindset.
Come.
It's the thing.
Come.
It's the mindset. It's the social conditioning.
Come.
These people, look, Saturday at camp, it was a brother. I know we Israelites. His wife drunk. She doing all type of crazy. So he wouldn't even put her in order. She's trying to hug brothers and stuff. Making jokes about Kahari hair. Bruh, she was wilding, yo. And the dude was just like, I'm comfortable, you know. I know I'm Israelite, but I ain't practicing. I'm cool in society right now. I'm just cool, you know. I'm cool.
That's everywhere. What happened when you came to North Carolina?
Right? So that's the thing, though. Our people so cool. It's like, okay, well, hey, you gonna kill me? Most High cool.
Salakia. I be wondering about that sometimes too, Adewale. You're sitting there, you talking about you cool or whatnot now. Or are you gonna be cool when them people come and kick your back in? Because
think about that though,
quiet is
so
kept. That
cool.
time is gonna come.
They not know to them the time not gonna come. They had civil rights. That's what you not see. They had civil rights. That's the play. They gave you Black History Month.
Right.
So every single year, white folks could be reminded about so they be reminded about everything that they did to us, right? Here's the thing though. DeSantis is planting the bill in Florida. They're gonna see it. Once white folks stop being reminded about what happened to you, they have no reason to feel sympathy for you. You've been able to get the white man to hold the door at the gas station for you when you walk there because he's thinking about black, you know, if I don't open the door for this nigger and they catch me on the news, I might lose my job. Here you go, brother.
Nigger.
Yeah. As soon as you walk by, that's what he said. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, that's what it is. It's because he's thinking about what he learned in school. If you take that from him, what reason he had to open the door for you?
Right.
You God-forsaken nigger.
Nah, you're not God-forsaken nothing then. It's God-forsake me for not killing this nigger.
Chosen High lady, can you please stop in the chat with all of that? Thwada.
Hey, she doing the thing, you know. Hey, you know, let her do her thing. That's
a lot of emojis.
Hey, you know. But yeah.
You missed the first comment. But okay, Salaki says, my bad. I didn't mean to be rude. Salaki.
Let her do her thing, bro. You know
all right, let's keep going.
Yeah, keep reading.
All right.
I hope y'all do Spanish. It's a history lesson, man. I know y'all don't like reading, but you should like you could be imagining everything that you're reading right here, putting yourself in the story, bro. That's what it's here for. This is better than TV when you got imagination. Real talk. You're supposed to meditate on the kingdom day and night. Do it right now. Go ahead.
Verse 38. So they rose up against them in battle on the Sabbath day, and they slew them with their wives and children and their cattle to the number of 1,000 people. Now, when Matthias and his friends understood
wait. That's dope. Y'all can't tell me that ain't dope.
Let's read it again.
Read it again.
So they rose up against them in battle on the Sabbath day, and they slew them with their wives and children and their cattle to the number of 1,000 people.
Esau get happy when we took over a village. We took down them Indians. We killed their wives and their children. Hoo, yay, where's the beer? Open the keg, right? Some of y'all ain't in that spirit yet, but boy, I read that, John. Read it again. Read it again.
38. So they rose up against them in battle on the seventh day, and they slew them with their wives and children and their cattle to the number of 1,000 people.
They slew everybody. They killed them all to the tune of 1,000 people.
Right. Music to my ears.
Right? Esau gets happy when we drop that bomb on Pearl Harbor. We dropped that bomb on Nagasaki. We dropped that bomb on Hiroshima. We dropped that bomb on Black Wall Street. They get happy about that. We killed their women, their children. They even making songs about it. They dropped a bomb on me. That's what that song about, right? That's what that song about.
I'm not gonna let you do that to the Gap Band.
That's what the song about. The Gap Band. You know what Gap stand for? Greenwood, Ashford, and Pines. That's the neighborhood where Black Wall Street was at. That's where they from. That's literally what the
song is about.
Yes, brother. They dropped the bomb on me, baby. It's about that. You turning me on. Turn me on.
I thought it was talking about a woman, but okay.
It was speaking in code, Adawan. He was speaking in code.
Words, brother.
Okay.
Before Uncle Charlie got on the crack, he wasn't whack, bro. He knew what he was talking about. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying.
Oh, dang.
He got on the crack both ways. He with the white girl and everything now. You know what I'm saying? But he used to be with the stuff, the truth. You know what I'm saying? But keep reading.
You don't make me close my book talking about Charlie. Verse 39. Now when Matthias and his friends understood hereof, they mourned for them right sore. And one of them said to another, if we all do as our brethren have done, and fight not for our lives and laws against the heathen, they will now quickly root us out of the earth.
Mm-hmm. So look, he's telling you, if you don't fight now for your people and everything that you believe in, you're not gonna be here no more, nigga. They're gonna root you out from the earth. They'll give you coronavirus, they'll give you H1N1, they'll give you Zika, they'll give you all this Ebola, anything they can. Smallpox. They'll kill you with the police. They'll knock your behind out at traffic stops, stomp your face in, knee you in the neck, shoot your house up for mistaken identity, wrong address, and get away with it. All that type of stuff. Go ahead, Al.
Hey, y'all wildin'. Hey, Salaki.
I like it.
Hey, sis, Salaki for that, because I took your first comment. I read it wrong. That's my bad. I repent for that. Salaki.
I like her. She doing her thing, boy.
Hey, in the chat, I want to ask y'all a question, especially this last verse, because it said, verse 40, it said, and one of them said unto another, we all do as our brethren have done, and fight not for our lives and laws against the heathen, they will now quickly root us out of the earth. What story does this sound like? Hey, one day, sis, one day soon we will.
One day soon.
Most I willing. Most I willing.
In the meantime, you better drive to Alabama.
Stick with us though. Hey, what story does it? Somebody is in the Apocrypha. What does this sound like? Somebody let me know real quick. You can't figure it out, I'll give you the answer. Because I will actually, this is a good story to go for this precept right here.
I think we got a brother in Texas. He just ain't, there yet.
He ain't elevated yet, come.
Yeah, he on his way. Go ahead.
Somebody let me know, what does this sound like? What does this part right here, verse 40, sound like?
Go ahead, read again.
All right, verse 40. And one of them said to another, if we all do as our brethren have done, and fight not for our lives and laws against the heathen, they will now quickly root us up out of the earth. So here's my question. If they don't fight for their laws, and if they don't fight for their lives and their laws, right? Why would they be rooted up out of the earth? That's my question. Hoping I'm not being confusing. I'm going to give you about 10 more seconds. Sister said the Maccabees. Well, we reading that. Let's see. I'm gonna answer it. And
He didn't say who. He said why.
oh, this is a good answer right
That
here.
is.
This is a good answer right here. Because we have no reason to be left alive if we weep. The brother, they'll be overtaken. Right? So boom. so boom. Judas 5, right? What did the man say to his master about the children of Israel? If they're following the Most High's law, statutes, and commandments,
What we gonna do?
let us pass by them.
What's going on?
But
they
if
following the law. You trying to go up against them, nigga? You stupid? You ain't
right,
heard about these people yet?
right. But if not, what would happen if we wasn't following the law, statutes, and commandments? What did he say?
Boy, Ankior said, bruh, he ran
Let
out the
us-
whole story. He said, you ain't heard about these niggas yet? You know what happens when the Most High got their back, bruh? You ain't hear what happened to Egypt back then?
Right. He said, but if they're not keeping their commandments, let us say that this would be their ruin.
He said, let us pray that they're not keeping the commandments, that this will be their ruin.
He said,
Let us
because
pray.
if you go up against them while they're keeping their commandments,
We're not gonna
you're
make it.
basically going to be a laughing stock. Right? It's the same thing here. It said we don't fight for our lives, and then he added, and laws. These heathen will take us up out of the earth, man. So as long as we fight for the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, like we're supposed to, and keep them and do them and teach them to our families, we're always going to prevail in battle. But if we don't, the heathen is going to take us up out of here. This was a known thing, which is ridiculous of why your pastor can say we don't have to keep the law. Where does the brother Nayam taught a little class at camp the other day, Soldier Nayam. He was talking about where our power lies. Right here, they're teaching us that our power lies in the law. I just wanted to bring that part out, man.
Yeah,
Judas,
Judas 5 or Judas
17.
6?
Judas 5:17.
Judas 5. Yeah, you're right. The chapter about Achior is the Ammonite that told the story. Esau was there and all them other people, right? And he breaking down what happens in yeah, there you go. Brother just posted it. Bye.
I just wanted to bring that out, man.
That's some more history for you, man. Good history.
Right.
Show you how much they was scared of us, right? So,
and it shows you that the other nations know that our power lies in the law as well. Right. Let's keep going. Verse 41. And at that time, therefore, they decreed, saying, whosoever shall come to make battle with us on the Sabbath day, we will fight against them. Neither will we die, Slakia, neither will we die at all, as our brethren that were murdered in the secret places.
Mm-hmm.
Then came there unto him a company of Assyrians, who are mighty men of Israel, even all such as were voluntarily devoted unto the law.
I believe these people were Northern Kingdom Israelites that was still in the Southern Kingdom, if my research tells me correctly. But go ahead.
Also, all they that fled for persecution joined themselves unto them, and were a stay unto them. So they joined their forces and smote the sinful men in their anger, and wicked men in their wrath. But the rest fled to the heathen for succor.
You see that? So now we just slaughtering people, right? We fighting because they mad, bro. You just killed our brothers, and they was trying not to fight. When people, put their hands up when they throw in the towel or whatever, you're supposed to just take them as prisoners of war or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You ain't supposed to slaughter them. Since that's how you're gonna do it, we're gonna do you like that too.
I got a
question. They slew them in their anger, in their wrath, because that's what it was when they was coming with them swords this time. It wasn't no regular war. They're fighting with it in their mind that you just killed our brethren and stuff like that, our sister and then their kids. And then he fight back. And it was a Sabbath day.
I got a question for you.
What's up?
In verse 44, it says, so they joined their forces and smote sinful men in their anger.
Mm-hmm.
Was this the coons amongst them? First and foremost.
It's possible. But the sinful men is talking about, the reason they said that is because these people were already profaning the temple and everything. as we read earlier.
I
So
knew it could be one or the other, but I just had to.
it could be both though. I ain't going, I'm not going to not say it's not, because Rome always got people that fought for them from our nation.
Yeah, come on. Let's keep going. Verse 45. Then Matthias and his friends went round about and pulled down the altars, and what children soever they found within the coast of Israel uncircumcised, those they circumcised valiantly. They pursued also after the proud men, and the work prospered in their land.
Mm-hmm.
So they recovered the law out of the hand of the Gentiles and out of the hands of the kings. Neither suffered they the sinners to triumph. Now when the time drew near that Matthias had died, he said unto his sons, now have pride and rebuke gotten strength in the time of destruction and the wrath of indignation. Now therefore, my sons, be ye zealous for the law and give your lives for the covenant of your fathers.
See, this is a real speech right here, bro. I know I have a dream. Not no junk from damn Farrakhan. The prophet Jesus said, no. Prophet Jesus said, wake up, nigga. The time is near. Wake up out of sleep. But it's like our people, bro, they'll rather listen to Joseph B. Yakanan talk about how we need to get back to Africa. They'd rather read a speech from Marcus Garvey about whatever he be talking about, right? As opposed to reading something like this, where he's telling his son something valiant, how to stand up to the people, keep hold of what they believe in, and never turn the other cheek. Come on now. How are these, bruh, just between the first book of Maccabees, the stuff that Matthias said, and Judas Maccabees, just the two of them. We ain't got to talk about everybody else that made a speech, because then it would be too good. If we just talk about the two of them, we already beat every single war speech that was ever given in history. When you look at these speeches, hold on just a second. When you look at these speeches and how they was given, and you look at movies like the scenes from 300 and Lord of the Rings and all that crap, where they try to give their valiant speeches in the war, and then they run off into the battle right after the speech, screaming with their sword in their hand. They got that from these books.
Gotta have. Got to.
That's right.
Because when you're reading them, when you're reading how Matthias is speaking, when you read in the next chapter how Judas is speaking to the brothers right in the middle of the battle, then it talks about then he went on and pounced on the, like, come on now. He go right from talking to running into the crowd with a sword in his hand. Then it said he smoked like 800 people, 8,000 people, whatever it is. 3,000 men. That's where they're getting this stuff from. Because the same way that you're supposed to be able to visually see yourself and your ancestors and everything like that when you're reading the script, the same way they see it. They know it's you too. So they decide to make a movie and make themselves be in it. Right? They'll make a 300 or something. Feel me? This is Sparta. Instead of what Judas is going to say in the next chapter.
Right.
That's how they want this to be. That's what they want you to look at. Right? Instead of putting yourself there in that mind frame. Remember what Judas said, as opposed to what the cracker said at 300. Go ahead, Alan.
Hey, and these speeches, like the brother was just saying, these speeches are all throughout the scriptures. I'm gonna ask the crowd one more question. There's a speech on the Friday night class that the Adoniam read that's similar to this one when he was speaking about Joab. Somebody put the precept in the chat. We're gonna keep reading because I don't want to take up too much time, but I want somebody to put that in the chat, and I'm gonna see who get it right. Similar to this same speech that Matthias is giving to his son. Somebody else gave a speech just like this to their son. All right. We had verse, I'm going to start from 49 again. First Maccabees 2:49. Now, when the time drew near that Matthias should die, he said unto his sons, now have pride and rebuke gotten strength, in the time of destruction and the wrath of indignation. Now, therefore, My sons, be zealous for the law, and give your lives for the covenant of your fathers. Call to remembrance what acts our fathers did in their time. So shall ye receive and an everlasting name. Was not Abraham found faithful in temptation?
Look at that. So now look, bro. He's on the deathbed. He's giving them a speech while making them remember things that happened in the past, right? This would be the equivalent of, like, when you in the class and the African American studies teacher, remember Harriet on that civil rights movement and the damn Underground Railroad, and she the first civil rights, yeah. And then you got Rosa Parks in the bus. Oh, she stood up to that white man so good. Oh my goodness, boy, she sat down and crossed her leg on him, and like the same way that they try to make that story sound good. You just imagine if they was telling us this stuff in school, right?
Yeah, niggas would be fighting.
Was not Abraham found faithful in temptation, and it was imputed unto him for righteousness? You didn't know what that meant back then, but if you heard it, it still make you feel good, even if you don't know what it's talking about. Make you feel better than Rosa Parks just crossed the leg on him. And that's how my teacher taught it to me when I was in school. Rosa Parks just
What? Your teacher had to be black.
Keep reading. Goodness gracious.
All right, we have verse 53. Joseph, in the time of his distress, kept the commandment and was made Lord of Egypt. Phineas, our father, being zealous and fervent, obtained the covenant of everlasting priesthood. Yahushua, for fulfilling the word, was made a judge in Israel. Caleb, for bearing witness before the congregation, received the heritage of the land. David, for being merciful, possessed the throne and everlasting kingdom. Elias, for being zealous and fervent for the law, was taken up into heaven. Ananias, Azarias, and Misael, by believing, were saved out of the flame. Daniel, for his innocency, was delivered from the mouths of lions. And thus consider ye throughout all ages that none that put their trust in him shall be overcome. Boy. Fear not. Fear not.
If that was a speech that we learned in school, nigga.
Bruh.
Could be a complete switch.
Bruh. It would be the equivalent of when they showed Roots back in, the 70s when it came out, and how black folks was trying to kill every Edomite they saw. It'll be that. Right. It'll be that.
Instead of doing die-ins out of one.
Oh my God.
Hey man, keep going. Keep reading. It gets better.
Verse 62. Fear not, then the words, Salaki. Fear not then the words of a sinful man, for his glory shall be dung and worms. Today he shall be lifted up, and tomorrow he shall not be found, because he will return to the dust, and his thought is come to nothing.
He said, forget about the white man. Don't worry about Ron DeSantis. Forget Joe Biden. Bump Donald Trump. Right? And that's how the song goes. But look. Like, yo, bro. We in a situation here where our ancestor, Matthias, is telling his kids, this is something he told his kids. This ain't like no, you know what I'm saying? This sound like a war cry, but he's having a conversation with his sons. And then his son became the general of the army and then went and told the whole army stuff like this, right? That's where they get the speeches of Leonidas and all that crap from. Because they see our people was doing it. That's how we used to get right before the war. Let's believe David was doing this type of stuff too, right? And his generals, the mighty men. So, go ahead.
Verse, I'm getting caught up. Verse 64. Wherefore ye, my sons, be valiant and show yourselves men in the behalf of the law, for by it shall ye obtain glory. Salaki. That's the precept for what I was asking for. The sister with the Hebrew name that I can't read, and Yara all both got that right. King David, I can't read it. King David said that to his son. Show thyself a man, right? God, hey, so I'm gonna be able to read it one day, but not today. Okay.
That was funny. All right.
All right. Verse 65. And behold, I know that your brother Simon is a man of counsel. Give ear unto him always. He shall be a father unto you. As for Judas Maccabeus, he hath been mighty and strong, even from his youth up. Let him be your captain and fight the battle of the people. Take also unto you all those that observe the law, and avenge ye the wrong of your people. Recompense fully the heathen, and take heed unto the commandments of the law. So he blessed them, and was gathered unto his fathers, and he died in the 146th year. And his sons buried him in the sepulchres of his father at Matthias. And all Israel made a great lamentation for him.
146, boy.
Hey man, yo, this is the cold part. You said that like he will give this is how our people will give these last words to their sons, these speeches to their sons, right? But just think about this, man. Let's think about this. Anybody who's had anybody who you really cared about to pass away, you remember the last thing or that you did or they said to you. You got a mighty father. He was a mighty man in the earth, and the last thing he did was give you commandments to show yourself a man, be zealous after the law, and recompense fully the heathen. You're never going to forget that.
And to show yourself a man was to keep the law, not handle your business in the streets or whatever that they tell you now, right?
That was being a man. That's a good observation, Con.
Yeah. Hey, but we're not done reading though. You know, it's
I'm getting hype reading the joint. I ain't gonna
you want to read a little bit for the brother so you can take a little break?
Of course,
Get First Maccabees chapter 3. Just go to the next chapter. We'll read a little bit from this and then we'll
First Maccabees chapter 3. Honest to lock you real quick though, Adawan. That verse 68 right there, man. At the top of that verse, recompense fully the heathen.
Repay them fully, bro. Don't miss
not
nothing.
halfway, and it ain't tell us to sit here and call ourselves trying to be friends with them, have them by our side, like recompense them fully.
He said, pay them every red cent.
Man,
everyone.
Man, that's crazy. First Maccabees
chapter 3, verse 1, right? This is cold right here.
First Maccabees chapter 3, started at verse 1. Then his son Judas, called Maccabeus, rose up in his stead, and all his brethren helped him, and so did all they that held with his father, and they fought with cheerfulness the battle of Israel. So he got his people great honor, and put on a breastplate as a giant, and girt his warlike harness about him, and he made battles, protecting the host with his sword. And in his acts he was like a lion, and like a lion's whelp, roaring for his prey. For he pursued the wicked, and sought them out, and burnt up those that vexed his people. Wherefore the wicked shrunk for fear of him, and all the workers of iniquity were troubled, because salvation prospered in his hand. He grieved also many kings, and made Jacob glad with his acts, and his memorial is blessed forever.
You see that, bro? This is a damn human superhero. He ain't even get how a shot. This is a brother, Judas Maccabees.
So basically, what he's saying in the next chapter, he did exactly what his father told him to
do. and they say he put his garment on, and his axe was like a lion. They described him as a giant. There's like more than one definition of giant. It's not just big. I mean, he was like a renowned soldier. Later on in the book, it tells you that everybody knows about the fights of Judas Maccabees. Everybody. At least they did. They don't know about it now because they've tried their best to suppress those type of things, right? Because they don't want us to find out he was a brother. No, sir. Go look up the Maccabees on the on the internet, right? it's gonna be like 1 or 2 pictures you can find of them being black, and it's because it was an animation by Israelite. Every other picture, they got them looking like crusty white people from Greece, with the cul-de-sacs and the long beards and the really feminine poses and stuff. Look like they all moving in slow motion. That's what they got the Maccabees looking like online. You know what I'm saying? But I found one picture. You see that?
And look, watch this. Watch this. That don't hold a flame to what they probably
Actually look like.
Right. You probably could look at them in their eyes and be like, I'm not messing with those. No.
So it's like, bruh, this is crazy. But
hey,
yeah, but this like the best picture you find of them online, bro. Every other picture they look like Hansel and Gretel. You know what I'm saying? It don't make no sense. But man, just the way they described him here, it's like they describing. It made me feel like I'm watching the intro to a Marvel character or something. Like,
right.
You know,
all the Marvel characters.
I know, but I'm saying I'm letting the people know. It's Israelite History Month. I'm trying to hype it up.
Hey, come on.
The brother is literally on his Marvel stuff in this description right here. And they did it like that so that so you can understand the type of person he was as far as a warrior. And this is like the description that his enemies would see when they see him. They see him with that breastplate on and everything, all that armor. He looked like a giant to them. They've heard about what he does, so he's scaring them. That's why they said he struck fear in everybody. Keep reading. Verse 8.
This is verse 8. Moreover, he went through the cities of Judah, destroying the ungodly out of them, and turning away wrath from Israel.
See that? He turned away wrath from Israel. Keep going.
So that he was renowned unto the utmost part of the earth, and he received unto him such as were ready to perish. Right. Then Apollonius gathered the Gentiles together and the great host out of Samaria to fight against Israel, which thing when Judas perceived, he went forth to meet him, and so he smote him and slew him. Many also fell down slain, but the rest fled. Mm-hmm. Wherefore Judas took their spoils, and Apollonius' sword also, and therewith he fought all his life long. Now when Theron, a prince of the army of Syria...
Hold on. So you see this, and when you go and look into this story, right? Because we're not going to read too much of this. I want y'all to actually go through and read this yourself, brother and sisters. I want y'all to go through and read the Maccabees if you ain't ready yet. If you have ready, read it again. It's your history month, right? Do like they do in school. You used to read all the damn black books every February. Read the Bible now. You know what I'm saying? This is the black book. How about that? But Apollonius, he was a general from the Seleucid dynasty, from the Seleucid Empire. Had a big sword that everybody liked. He was a big-time general, basically because of the way he was able to wield the sword and stuff. He got killed with the sword, and the sword was jacked by Judas, finders keepers, losers weepers. And Judas used the sword the rest of his life. He's killing the enemies with their own sword. Do you understand that? The brother was cold, bro. He killed him with his sword and fought with it, bro. Come on now. This is the type of stuff that we used to be able to tell our kids about. These are the stories we used to be able to talk about and have pride in, right? Now people don't even know about this stuff. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, man. You know what else I want to talk about? Let's get 2 Samuel chapter 8, verse 6. Because this is good right here. One more person, other than the Maccabees, It's a big time brother that they don't want you to know about. You know, any chance they get, they want you to think he was ready, and that they tell you ready means red. That ain't what it means. You know, they'll try to, you know, brothers in Israel, they know this brother's so powerful that sometimes they read about him, they do their research. They don't even want to believe in Yahweh Shai no more. They'd be thinking he Yahweh Shai. We call them Negro only brothers, right? This brother is King David that we're talking about right here. He's an ancestor of Yahweh Shai, right? But King David in particular, right? He did something that, well, rather he had something already laid out that the Maccabees had to fight their way to, right? Fight their way through. Maccabees were already in captivity to the Romans, the Greeks, the Edomites, the Idumeans, the devil that the Bible speaks of, right? David actually subdued these people and had control over them and made them tributaries and servants unto him, right? If our people knew that there was a time in history and a specific king that they could go to that had white people as slaves, unanimously, wouldn't it be somebody that we talk about all the time? Especially in the conditions we're in. Every time a black person gets shot on TV, we're going to bring up King David. It ain't just going to be the BDs and GDs saying his name no more. It's going to be everybody. Right? Read that for me.
The book of 2 Samuel, chapter 8 and verse 6. Then David put garrisons in Syria of Damascus, and the Syrians became servants to David and brought gifts. And Yahweh preserved David whithersoever he went.
Mm-hmm.
And David took the shields of gold that were on the servants of Hadaezer and brought them to Jerusalem.
Mm-hmm.
And from Betah and from Berothai, cities of Hadadezer, King David took exceeding much brass. When Toi, king of Hamath, heard that David had smitten all the hosts of Hadaezer, then Toi sent Joram his son unto King David to salute him and to bless him, because he had fought against Hadaezer and smitten him. For Hadaezer had wars with Toi.
You see
and
that?
Joram brought with him vessels of silver and vessels of gold and vessels of brass.
So look, he literally is fighting wars that other people was fighting, beats one of the counterparts in the war, and then the other person who couldn't beat the other dude just sends his son down there to dap him up and become a tributary. He's like, well, damn, if you beat this dude and I couldn't beat him, then I ain't even gonna try to fight you. Here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So keep going. Keep going. We ain't got to Esau yet. Read the verse 15.
Verse 11, which also King David did dedicate unto Yahweh with the silver and gold that he had dedicated of all nations which he subdued. Of
And he's showing
Syria.
you, right? King David showing you that even after you get the spoils from the nations, right, always dedicate to the Most High. Don't try to take your glory for yourself. You ain't nothing. Right? He the king. He's doing that. Go ahead.
Of Syria and of Moab and of the children of Ammon and of the Philistines and of Amalek and of the spoil of Hadaezer's son of Rehob, king of Zobah. And David got him a name when he returned from smiting of the Syrians, and in the valley of Salt, being 18,000 men. And he put garrisons in Edom.
Hold up. How much men?
He put garrisons in
No.
Edom.
Go back above. How many men it said? How many men he slew?
18,000 men.
Yeah, okay. I just wanted them to hear that. All right. He slew in 18,000 people. Hitler killed how many? They talk about Hitler. They like the way Saddam Hussein, Mussolini, Donald Trump, Barack Obama. They kill people, airstrikes and stuff. But that's what we got going on right there, bro. That's valiant. That's big time stuff. He's a warrior. He's the king too. They make movies, King Arthur. They always want their king to be the damn king warrior guy, right? Leonidas became a king. They got, they got the cartoons. They got He-Man and all that mess. They got the G.I. Joe. They always want somebody to be the big time warrior guy, right? That's going to be leading the nation and everything. Mr. America, right? But this the real one. Mr. Jerusalem. They called him King David. Go ahead.
Verse 14. And he put garrisons in Edom. Throughout all Edom put he garrisons.
Mm-hmm.
And all they of Edom became David's servants.
Mm.
And Yahweh preserved David whithersoever he went. And David reigned over all Israel. And David executed judgment and justice unto all his people.
You see that? That's beautiful, man. King David was able to do that. He was able to execute justice and judgment unto all his people. And he kept our biggest enemy in subjection, made them tributaries and servants under him. Right? That's dope, man. So I just wanted to leave y'all with a little history, bro. You even want some names of people? David got mighty men. Instead of going to look up the damn platoon for the U.S. Army, go look up the King's Guard and stuff, the mighty men of Israel, right? You can find that in 2 Samuel 23, 1 Chronicles 11, and 1 Chronicles 12. We read it, but I'm gonna let y'all go tonight, bro. I'm gonna let y'all go. Give me Sirach chapter 24 and 23 and close it.
This book of Sirach, chapter 24 and verse 23. And it reads, all these things are the book of the covenant of the Most High God, even the law which Moses commanded for a heritage unto the congregations of Jacob.
See that, man? This is your heritage. This is your book. This has your history in it. You hear us say it all the time. We read one chapter in like a chapter and a half of history.
That's right.
2 hours and 13 minutes after the breakdown. And we read an article for a couple seconds. Right? But this was a history. And it was interesting. You liked it. You stayed in the room. You watched it. You got to imagine what it was like back then, having somebody else read it. Right? You read it yourself. You get to imagine it. Put yourself there in that space. That's the dopeness, because it's actually yours. It's your space to put yourself in. It's your book. It's your people, your ancestors. All right? You don't have to try to sit in the classroom and try to put yourself in the headspace of Alexander. Put yourself in the headspace of Hitler. Why they teaching you that stuff? You ain't got to try to become Jack and Annie and try to think about being King Arthur or something like that.
Gotta be Thor.
Yeah, you ain't gotta do that. You know what I'm saying? You could be King David. You could be wise like King Solomon. You could be the Maccabees. You could be priestly and hardcore priest dude like Nehemiah. Right? You could be like a Mashiach Yahushua. This is your book. These are your people to be like. You know what I'm saying? This is the history that they don't want you to know about, that they don't want you to find. Because when you find it, it gives you power that they don't have. They want you to feel the same way they have, right? Or the same way they feel. You being equal with them puts them above you automatically. Take your power back, man. We're supposed to be above all people on the face of the earth, but the only way we get that is by coming back to this. Law, statutes, commandments that we were given as our heritage. You feel me? So Hope y'all enjoyed the lesson tonight. Hope you teach your kids some history about, your people, the real people, not the coons. Don't be teaching them about the NAACP and, all that stuff. Teach them about the truth. You know what I'm saying? So with that, we are the Sons of Thunder Israelites. Is there any questions that we get? Is there anybody saying?
She was asking, hold on, what? No, I think she's trolling.
She asking that sister for the question, or did she have a question for us? Okay, I think we good.
Hey, well, we got 103 people in here, man. Make sure y'all watch every week, man. Watch True Tuesday. There should be 100, and we got up to 120 people. There should be 120 people on True Tuesday. Thursday not live. We know it'll be 100 something people on Friday. 100 something people need to be on Sabbath class and all of that. And all 100 some of y'all need to subscribe to Sons of Thunder Israelites North Carolina too. It's in the description. Go ahead.
Yeah, see the man with the little shameless plugs and stuff. But I was gonna say, to let me back up what he said, you know what I'm saying? But also, I know we told his sister, I was supposed to say at this beginning, we told the sister that the class tonight was gonna be about heaven and hell. We moved that class to Thursday. So Thursday is gonna be a 2-night class. If you want to learn about heaven and hell, tune in this Thursday. I'll try to make that class too, because I should be at the crib. So if we got room on the live, I'll hop on and help them with that too. But y'all tune into that for that information. Y'all definitely tune in tomorrow for Truth Tuesday. I don't know exactly what their topic is going to be about, but it's always dope. So it being Black History, y'all hop up in there and learn what you got going on for the Truth Tuesdays, all right? And then, of course, we got the class on Thursday live that they got going on now. I don't know if that's going to be a normal thing, but for right now it is. So y'all tune in while you got it. You feel me? And Friday night call. You got questions. You should have questions because you're coming back to your history, your culture, your heritage, right? And you didn't have it your whole life. So there's got to be things you got questions about. So you come with your questions on Friday, all right? On the Friday night call. I don't want y'all all, and usually Captain Malachi and Captain Yaquab help him with that class. And if Kanal can get on there, I don't want Kanal, he opts on there too. And if I could be on there, I'm going to do the same thing. So y'all stay tuned. Be around for the classes. We up here on the live Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. And we at camp on Saturday. So y'all continue to support us. The water for the support in advance. Continue to like and share the videos. Subscribe to the channels. This one, North Carolina, and all that type stuff. Y'all tune into the Alabama page that they got going on, their lives and everything. The lives with Yaquab down in Florida, the lives with Captain Dirac up in Ohio. And as we expand, we'll keep letting y'all know what the deal is. All right. So with that, we are the Sons of Thunder Israelites. It is our prayer and heart's desire that all Israel might be saved. Shalom.
Shalom.
Yeah. Hashtag kind of camp.